Have you ever wondered why there are so many skulls decorated nice and neatly between October 31st through November 2nd? Well, that is because Mexican Americans like to celebrate what is known as Dia de los Muertos. This topic means so much to me because me and my family members get to celebrate during these couple of days, and I believe it brings us closer as a family together with our beloved death ones. Today, I would love to inform you more of what goes on during these couple of days. My first main point is history. Dia de los Muertos starts on October 31st and ends November 2nd. According to Sonia Livingston, Native people viewed death as part of their natural continuum. This tradition has been celebrated for many centuries and for many more years to come. I believe it brings people way closer whenever they get to experience what really goes on during these couple of days and whenever they get a feeling and a visualization of what really happens. The first image of Dia de los Muertos, according to Regner Christensen, is the Catrina, which was first made in 1894 by Jose Guadalupe Posada. The Catrina, also known as the skeleton, has been the main skeleton known out of all the other skeletons that have been made for this tradition. This main skeleton is the visualization when people hear what goes on during Day of the Dead. The history behind the celebration brings me to my next main point, which is what happens whenever we get prepared for these couple of days. The decorations. During these few days of celebration, families prepare different types of foods, drinks, and flowers for their beloved death family members that they used to like. People even dress with costumes and make big images of skeletons for the big festival that happens in Mexico. People put sugar skulls in their loved one's place in the cemetery and ofrenda for decorations. I believe Dallas, Texas had their first main celebration of Day of the Dead here in November in downtown Dallas this year. The decorations and objects lead me to my third main point, which is the ofrenda and altar. People set up their own little ofrendas and altars in their own homes to welcome back their spirits of the beloved death ones. Many decorations are put in the cemeteries and ofrendas to make the beloved death ones feel welcome back home and make them feel special. According to Gina Franco, the feast can become another home, worthy of gathering a family and friends, worthy of restoration, which can have more meaning to someone, way more than what we expect. The ofrenda leads me to my next main point, which is the remembrance of our loved ones. We people would like to welcome back our beloved death ones, spirits, back into the world with their favorite types of foods, flowers, and drinks of what they used to like when they were here. And we set those up in their altars in their own specific place. Most people celebrate these days at a cemetery where big festivals are held whenever they're dancing and singing. We even put up pictures of our beloved death ones in the ofrendas and altars. We get to cut them up so that way it can be their individual picture, so that way they can feel special and have their own little place on the ofrenda or their altar. These couple of days can be happy or sad depending on the situation in the family member's house. Especially for someone who just had a recent death, these couple of days can be very difficult for them to celebrate Dia de los Muertos. And it could be very happy for other people who have a lot of beloved death family members and they really get into celebrating Day of the Dead by putting a lot of decorations and such in their own ofrendas for their specific part. People can welcome spirits of their family members back into the world. It may be believed that the border between the living and the dead is dissolved in these days of celebrations for spirits to cross back into our world. My conclusion is that the history, decorations, altars, and the remembrance of all of what I just talked about are reasons why we celebrate this celebration. And if you look up YouTube videos of Day of the Dead, actually in Mexico, there's this big celebration that happens, and you can get more information and specifics of what really happens during these couple of days. I believe this brings people closer to their family members and to their beloved death ones because they get to celebrate this tradition with everybody that they love, and they get to have that feeling of their beloved death one's spirits back into their house. This means way much more to me now that I know a little bit more information of Day of the Dead And I feel like whenever Day of the Dead comes back next year, it will mean a lot more to me now that I know more information, and I feel like it'll bring us closer together. I cannot wait to hear what my team has to share with me and to inform me. And thank you for spending time and letting me inform you of the Day of the Dead. Thank you.